listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
Hit those drums, buddy. I am so excited because you know what Bing is? Bing is for doing, and what we're doing is a SmackDown After Show. And I'm excited to have not only one of the Ballard sisters, but I got the other one, Shane, with me. How can I go wrong with that? Do you know you guys had me fooled because I always thought you guys were guys? And because you look like it, I didn't know you were sisters. I had no idea. It's really good to have all you here. And I also like to say we have a fan out there in Oklahoma named Chris, who's been a very good friend to me. And Chris, I want to tell you, we're laying the SmackDown on here for you today. And if you don't watch it, I'm going to come down and lay the SmackDown on you personally. So I'm Ric Drasin, your host. I want to introduce Chris Mastro, who's been here many, many times. Hello. Chris. Hi, say hi, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Rick.
I love having you. We have Shannon Ballard again.
Yeah, again, I just keep showing up. They don't let me in. I come in through the back door. You know what it's like when I come in through the back door.
Yeah, we've heard about that before. But you brought your brother Shane.
Yeah.
Hi, Shane.
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
I'm delicious.
I know.
Yes, you do.
That.
It's so nice to have you guys here. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
How do you get you out of the house?
A pry bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he still eating all your food? Because you look a little bit bigger.
Actually, no. I've been eating tiger milk bars now. Like that's all I eat now is tiger milk bars.
Yeah.
So the king size.
You're cool. That's because you're a cool cat.
Yeah.
Well, we have a good show on SmackDown. I guess we'll get right into it because that's what you fans like, and that's what we want to give you. We started off with your favorite guy, Booker T, right?
5 times.
He actually did the spinneroonie too, in his little monkey suit. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I'm surprised he could
Pull it
hit
off?
that in, in the tie and everything.
Why?
Well, it seems like the shoulder pads would get in the way of those gyrating
I know.
moves.
That guy's pretty agile, though. He's in really good shape.
He's got those crazy eyes that snap at you when like somebody smacked him in the back of his head and his eyes pop open. You notice that?
I've always wanted to be able to bulge my eyes like that, where they really bulge out. And when you have dinner and the check comes, the eyes like shoot out like this. You're like, oh my God. He had a brother, his brother from Harlem Heat.
Yeah, I remember Stevie Ray.
Yeah, Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
I did a Snapple commercial with him over at Universal Studios, and I didn't know it was him, and he didn't know it was me, and they kept saying, you're going to work with a guy, and I said, I hope he's a wrestler. He shows up, and I said, I wrestle. He says, yeah, well, thank God for that, because we thought we were going to get actors and really get hurt, right? All we did was stand in the middle of the ring with a headlock on, with a Snapple patch on our arm, and that was the whole spot.
Nice.
There was like no wrestling involved. Okay, so the Sheamus, you want to go where? To Sheamus from here?
No, well, look, we got it. Yeah, Sheamus and Del Rio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With the car that they destroyed?
Right. On Tout. What is Tout? Because I'm so far behind in technology, I don't know
Tout
what it is.
like a...
Tout's like a new way to instantly communicate.
Like a Twitter.
Yeah, it's like a 15-second little piece of video that you upload.
Right.
And if WWE likes yours, they'll put your tout on their show.
And where do you upload it?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
How about you, Shane? What do you know?
I have a flip phone. I know. Yeah, see, we both do. We both have the flip.
But you guys share the same phone.
Do you have
we
text
actually have the
messaging?
same color. I do, yeah. Text messaging. We could take,
and
it takes pictures. Yeah, we could take pictures with it.
Do you tout?
Do I tout?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. Yeah.
We just discussed this.
The answer would be no then. Absolutely not.
All right, then you just lost $1 million question. Is this something new with him, the tout?
I think it started like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's something very new.
I think it's a great idea.
They're really pushing it.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Since they expanded to 3 hours, I heard their plan is to do more and more social interaction, and
That's
Well,
the way it's going.
For you fans out there, as you all know, social interaction is the whole key to everything in today's world. And with the internet, you can do it. And you feel like you're part of the show. And being part of the show brings you into it, and it makes it more successful. Because it's better to have, as we said in wrestling classes, you want to connect with the audience and bring them into your world. And having Tout on WWE brings them into their world. And it expands the viewers and expands the fans. Make sense?
Yes. Now, do you think Tout and Twitter, like Tout would be like the Facebook and Twitter like the MySpace? Like, you think it's like Tout's going to take over, or you think it's just two separate things, like so different from each other that there's one's not going to overpower the other?
I think Tout requires you not to be as lazy as you'd be on Facebook, so I think Facebook will win in the end.
No, I'm talking about like between Tout and Twitter, because they're more similar, right?
Well, no, but here's the situation with that, if you want to hear my expertise.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Tout is for WWE only.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that
See
true?
that?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's for them because Facebook is international. Well, I mean, it can expand beyond that, but when they're touting for WWE, it's basically for what's going on the shows.
Oh, you're not saying Tout is a company specifically for WWE, but you're saying
That's where this is where it's just come up as with WWE. I don't know. I haven't heard of it outside WWE.
Right.
I don't know. But it seems since they're advertising it, that's where they would probably direct their attention. Where Twitter is just all over the world, it has been for a long time. I don't think anything's going to overpass them and overpass Facebook at this point because Facebook's huge.
You don't think MySpace and Facebook might combine?
I think that MySpace for you and your sister are the perfect place to stay.
Yeah.
You're
We're
locked
happy.
in-
We're
you're
comfortable there.
Yeah, you are. You're locked in a time lock. Look at you. And this is the best place for you to be.
You are our top friend on that, though, just to let you know.
Yeah,
so
you are.
You're our number one friend.
Just retract everything I just said. Okay. All right. So we had the apology with Sheamus on destroying the car of Del Rio's.
Which I did not believe one bit.
No.
yeah.
Yeah. No sincerity in that apology.
Yeah, it wasn't even the same car.
Do you ever wonder, though, if Alberto Del Rio's, if his insurance is going to go up after that incident?
Oh, he's sky high now.
Oh, okay.
Just driving it into the arena raised the rates.
Rick and I were talking about sincerity yesterday. When you say Sheamus's apology wasn't sincere, do you mean that in a bad way that doesn't sell the segment, or do you mean that in a good way where it's like he's still having a good time?
Like he meant to not be sincere. Good way.
It was
Right.
his, it
He's
was
like
his,
a Dennis the Menace or something.
yeah, it was his motive to say, okay, fine, I apologize, but you know what? Not really.
Did
Coming back
anybody
after you.
Notice Alberto Del Rio's hair? It wasn't as gray this week. Like he has like different shades, maybe 50 shades of gray, maybe. But yeah, every week his hair is like a different shade of gray. Sometimes it's black, sometimes it's really gray, sometimes it's that comfortable in between, that the 5-minute gray.
The Grecian formula.
Yeah, that they push so much. He has that sometimes. It's weird. His hair looks different every week.
does
The
look
color
different.
of it.
And
You'd
then he
think
had a haircut.
he'd do it every week right before the show or something.
Yeah,
like that.
sometimes I remember the Hurricane used to always. Well, I mean his was green, but they have like a hairdresser in the back, and,
Sure.
and he would come out of there, and she would do it. A lot of them actually would do that.
They have to be consistent, just like on a movie set. It
Yeah.
has to be always the same. But he had a haircut too, so it looked a little shorter.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the car will be repaired. It'll be back on the set, and they'll clean all the vegetables off and the burritos and all that stuff.
Wait. What about? I don't know if anybody else caught this, but they wanted to make it look like the car was smoking. They had a smoke machine, and the smoke was coming like from the side of the car.
Yeah.
That was pretty cheesy.
It's cheesy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing to do. It's something different for, Well, let's move on to Sin Cara.
What did you think of the match?
It was all right. I mean, it's kind of like the same setup all the time. I mean, they're both great wrestlers, and Cody Rhodes has come a long way. I like him.
Their chemistry was off.
It
They
was
didn't
off.
have good chemistry because like a lot of luchadors are sometimes hard to work with. I mean, you know how they work on the right side,
Yes.
and we all work on the left side.
Well,
and-
let's clarify that for a minute for you guys that watch out there. Wrestling since day one has always been on the left side, left arm, left leg. Lucha from day one has always been the right arm, right leg. And women back in the day with Johnny Mae Young was always the right side. And then all of a sudden everybody switched to the left recently, I mean in the past few years, the women and the Luchas, because they want to be universal around the world. But still, a lot of luchas work on the right. So when you're in the ring working with somebody and they grab the wrong thing, you're not quite sure where you're going to go with it.
Right.
Right? Did I explain that properly?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, one of his arm drags that he did, the spinning one, was to the right side.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I saw that. The thing is, you have to know how to be a base for him.
Yeah.
In order for him to do his stuff.
Right. Basing is important. A lot of people can't base. So like if you can't base, it's like they can't, like their strength is the high flying stuff that needs somebody else. Like the base does 75% of the work. The guy that's doing it, I mean, he's just jumping up. The base is actually turning him and spinning him.
He's putting him where he wants him to be, and he's there for him when he wants to be there. And if you don't do those two things, you don't have a match.
Right.
You can't have a match.
What happened to the trampoline entrance? When did that get scrapped?
I think they got rid of that. Yeah, I think you told me he had an injury.
Yeah, when he came back from his knee injury, I guess they weren't. They didn't want to hurt him on his entrance, so
gotcha.
Just had more of a standard.
I like
entrance.
that. I thought that was pretty
it was
crazy.
different.
It was different.
Was he Mystico? He was Mystico, right? Back in Mexico, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mystico. He was very popular.
Why do you ask him anything? You guys share the same brain.
Well, because I'm using the right side and he's using the left side.
So
They have to
you're
communicate.
the lucha then.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a lucha brain.
Right. So it's all mixed up and scrambled.
Yeah. On a heat day like this, 106 degrees, it would be.
108, Rick.
I'm sorry.
Is it just
108.
me when Cody Rhodes, when he does his promos, does he sound like Anakin Skywalker to anybody else?
Wow, yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
Very monotone.
Yeah.
You can't tell if he's angry because I'm so angry right now.
Yeah.
You can't tell if
Have-
he's angry or if he's just.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him?
I haven't. No.
I met him down at the firehouse when we were training at Gold's Gym one day, and he sat down. He and Mason Ryan and Alex Riley. And so they started talking about old school stuff, and I was telling them about my history and that. And they said, he's a really nice guy. I mean, they're all three really nice, but Cody's really, really a very respectful person, really nice. And he's got a good body. He's not dusty. No one's dusty.
No one will ever be dusty.
I don't know that Cody's found his place yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
I
think.
kind of like when they had the gimmick mask on him.
I did
felt
too.
like that super villain character that he plays was able to come out more when he had
Yeah.
that mask on. Plus, it was a see-through mask, so it was perfect. His
I
face
wa-
was still showing, and he had the gimmick to go with it.
I wore one of those into the bank once just to cash a check.
Yeah, oh, nice. you probably
see
got a
them
lot
jump.
more than you actually put in, right?
I said I had plastic surgery. I can't be out in the sun. I'm sorry, but I need to cash a check, and I need everything that's in that box.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we. You know what? Why did they change the lighting on Sin Cara and make it yellow?
I don't kind of maybe like just the effect. They do that to Kane where they have the red.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But why the yellow? I mean, what's it signify?
I think you'd see all the botches if it was in proper lighting.
Like that match in general, like I thought it was a decent story. I think they're probably leading to maybe unmasking Sin Cara. I mean, that's what I gathered from it. Like it's leading to something. It didn't end right there. I think it's going to continue.
Yeah. Well, they might. They did the Rey Mysterio
Yeah.
years ago, which was a big mistake. I
Yeah.
thought.
Then they put the mask back on him.
Yeah, but completely ruined him.
Yeah, it did.
They
I
took the
thought.
mask off the guy. All right, so we have a Daniel Bryan promo where he's ragging on Kane.
Well, I think we forgot the something that they haven't done for a long time was the Wade Barrett. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Wade Barrett hit the vignette. They used to do. I remember like when Mankind did his vignette way back
that
in the
was
day.
crazy.
Yeah. So it's like I think vignettes is a great way to introduce somebody, even though he's already been there.
Right.
But like it gives you an idea of his character before he even gets there. So I thought that was really nicely set up and done.
Who are we talking about?
Wade Barrett.
Oh, we're talking.
You must have fast forwarded it through there or went to the bathroom.
Oh, but that wasn't a match. Okay, all right. Okay, I see.
Oh, we're talking matches.
No,
okay.
that's okay. We'll talk about Wade Barrett. Like a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
A little
really
vignette.
important.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put a lot into like 30, 60 seconds on somebody, get the whole thing on them and know what it's all about, and then you're ready to watch.
Right.
It's a great idea, yeah. But the WWE does a lot of that.
I haven't seen it lately.
I just wish they'd bring back some promos, but I guess at this point they're so tightly packaged they don't want guys talking too much before they're ready to have them talk.
Well, they have a lot of promos, though.
I mean backstage promos
All
like
backstage, yeah.
those were great.
Not like they used to be, though.
Yeah.
I'm ready to fight you. I'm ready to fight you, and here we go.
No, the old school promos were great.
I like the promos when they would be out of their element, when they would like do a promo like in a shopping center or just someplace out of their element. I thought was really
Because it's candid.
yeah.
And candid's best. Like candid
Right.
camera was always good, impromptu shots wherever
Right.
you are. We know what they're like in the ring and around the ring. We want to see them outside that.
Exactly.
Right, and what you're saying with the vignettes and with the outside the ring, Razor Ramon had that promo when he first came in where he was just walking around a fruit market playing that character of Razor
Yeah.
Ramon,
Yeah.
eating the apple, spitting it in the merchant's face,
Yes.
stealing the apple. So that really gave him, I guess, heat or a heel. You know, everyone booed him the first time he came through the curtain.
Outside, they picked it up on the streets. He carried his character out into the streets.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that was old school too.
Yeah.
We all did that.
We should.
Can we go on to the Daniel Bryan promo?
Somebody made her return that I'm sure somebody else was really excited about.
I was very excited, AJ, as you know.
We could see.
My Facebook friend.
Yeah.
She's so good. I mean, she is so good at what she does. And her little facial expressions and all that. I mean, she just pulls it off every time. And just really great actress. She would never have to wrestle again. I think she should go off and do feature films.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think she could actually make the transition from wrestling to acting and actually do films? Like, I mean, not be like someone like The Rock, like a major player, but maybe like
I think so.
a supporter.
You know, her
supporting-
age and with the Jersey Shore and all these reality shows and all these other things on TV right now, she fits right in the mold of everybody. I mean, she can play any character.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. I'm not saying this because she's a lot younger than me, and I'm not going after someone that age. But I totally.
Come on, now. Yes, you are.
We don't
yes,
believe that.
you are.
all right, so I am. Okay. But I do believe when I see talent that it's there. I've been in acting for a long time, and I've seen a lot of actors, and they either have it or they don't. But she has it. And it's not what she says, it's what her eyes and her facial expressions tell the story. She doesn't have to be in the ring. She can be outside the ring when something's going on in there with Daniel Bryan and Kane, and just the look on her face, you know what she's thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good actress.
Yes.
That's a really good actress. It takes a lot. A lot of people can't pull that off. Sincerity comes from the eyes. And if they believe it here, it's going to come through here. It's the same thing with wrestling and your character on SmackDown. Daniel Bryan, I believe he really believes his character when he's out there
Yeah.
because he portrays it.
Do you think WWE could push that yes and no gimmick to like start going at soccer and football games and stuff like that?
I think it's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'll
you go
follow
ahead.
you. I was just. I've got in my notes. They could do so much with the yes and the no. I'm sure. Yeah, it could because the what actually sometimes would go to different sporting events and people would say what.
Yeah.
So I think something like that actually could. But they could do so much. Now he's doing like the no, no, no. So he wants to fit like when the fans start actually chanting no, 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 he could go back to yes. It's like they could do so much with that.
I know where they could go with it.
Yeah.
Throw a maybe in there.
A maybe. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Maybe, maybe, maybe. But in my life, maybe with my kids means no. When I ask them to do something, they say maybe, that means no. Okay. All right. So now we have Teddy, Booker. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, real quick, I wanted to talk about Amazon.com.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I forgot what I was going to talk about. What do you think about Amazon.com?
I think Amazon.com is a great place to buy stuff, and I bought a lot of things on there. And I'm going to put my books on there, actually. But I think if you go to AfterBuzzTV.com first and click the Amazon little button,
The banner?
and then you can buy. That gives us enough fuel to keep the show going.
Yeah, we will keep coming back.
Keep coming back.
And my brother will finally get to eat.
I will.
God forbid.
Right, Al, it's no
Something-
extra...
Oh, I'm saying something other than a Tiger's Milk bar. So
You can
I
buy
use
Tiger
that.
Milk's bar on Amazon.com.
Oh, true.
But
true.
go to AfterBuzz first and click the banner so
Okay.
that we get credit, and then
Right.
they'll ship you your Tiger's Milk bars, all right to your house, and get them before your brother gets them.
And no extra cost to the customer.
Nice.
So it just helps us, and if
Yeah.
it helps you too, great.
Yeah. It's just a little extra click. A click of the mouse. Oh, thank you. All right. You want to go on to...
No, I want to ask you a question. Are you getting jealous because now AJ is working Kane? You know how like all chicks do. So
well, there's a little bit of swords in my heart, but I'm okay with it because I know that I can outshine him.
he's a great worker, though. How can you?
We're not talking about working.
Oh, hey-o.
Grass doesn't grow on a busy street, and that's why this head is the way it is. All right. Now can we go on to
Yes.
Teddy Booker and the guy? Who were the tag guys that were out there with? I forget their names.
Those guys are called Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins.
Right. I like Tyler Rex. I saw him do some work. He's good.
Yeah, they're around. They pop up from time to time, and they're one of those young talents that if they need them, they use them.
What was the job he was referring to? I mean, have they gone there
yeah.
yet?
The one guy said, he used to work, and it might have been like an ice cream parlor or something like that.
And he's like, no, not that job. Like, really bad acting, by the way. on that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. You know, if you don't believe who you are, it's going to come out like not going to be right.
Do they have a collective name yet?
I don't think so.
Team name?
No.
You know, also those things, because in their situation, they seem like they're just kind of thrown in there. And if you're given your line to read like 2 minutes before you have to go on, and it's something that's out of character anyway, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. No.
I mean, some people could pull it off, and it's not a very natural thing to pull off.
They're not really part of the family.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there.
Throw them in every once in a
They're
while.
the relatives that come by for a few hours.
Yeah.
And a collective name was a very nice thought coming out of your mouth. I didn't know you could speak words like that.
Neither did I.
Yeah,
That's because he's the left side of the brain. You won't hear that from me.
No. So basically, that promo went where? I mean, where did it go? What's going to happen with him?
I actually, I don't know. I kind of think it went right into the garbage can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too, because it didn't impress me at all.
Yeah.
It was just filling time. And there's
Yeah.
another thing coming up, filling time soon. I want to get about. All right, then we have the two jobbers. This is where you two guys come in.
Yeah, why couldn't they have used us? We could have been out there with our old 80s, like silver jackets on, or like our Ribera jackets, held our left hand up when they said, already in the ring.
Yeah. Where do they find these guys?
Where was that filmed? Where was that? Where'd that come from? That
It was Houston, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so probably somewhere in Texas. They were like really tiny.
Obviously.
No, they flew them in from the East Coast.
Paid them a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's just like ridiculous already.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Well, I guess they're trying to give Ryback his first real feud.
Yeah.
See where he goes with it.
So Jinder Mahal as the heel.
Did you see the veins in Mahal's bicep?
Yeah, I did.
I know only bodybuilders would spot that. I mean, he had like veins all the way up and down. He's not really cut or anything. He just got a lot of veins.
Yeah, and very vascular.
Very vascular.
Yeah.
Must be his diet and whatever he eats.
Yeah.
Probably kebabs. but I mean, it was. I could see where they're kind of going with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just squashing these guys and having him come in and squash him again, and he runs out. I mean, it's going to build up to something. It has to. I mean, they've been doing this too long.
It will never pass the mid-card level, though.
No.
They're just not ready. I think maybe they're just kind of like throwing them like throwing this out and seeing like throwing the line out and seeing if anybody bites.
Do you think they would have been ready 10 years ago if that would have been 10 years ago and they were doing this thing?
No, absolutely not.
No.
No.
What do you think holds them back?
I think they're just brought through the system. They don't get to go out and learn how to work with all these other different people. They're brought through one system, like, you know, they're like siphoned through.
Yeah.
So that they don't see the, like, when you're, it's like in a storm, when you're in the eye of the storm, you actually don't see the storm.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not being able to see like what the rest of all of wrestling is doing and how everybody can contribute. They're just they're doing what exactly they're told, what they think is right.
I have a one word that will solidify this whole thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Marriage. You're in the eye of the storm in your marriage. You have no idea what's going on around you. It's the same sort of thing there because they're not getting the experience in the outside world of
Right.
wrestling to see what it's all about.
Where like back in where you're talking 10 years ago, these people would have been married to other. I mean, me and my brother have been married to other teams. I mean, I don't mean that.
No, I know.
But
Working
it's like,
steady with,
yeah. Where you like do feuds, like there's one, the Native Blood, the tribe. We've actually, what was it, 3 decades, I think, or 2? What is it?
Oh, since 1998. we've been wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand.
Somebody do the math.
yeah.
A good example too would be Brackus. Remember him from way back when?
Oh, my
He
God,
lasted
yes.
like 2 matches and
Yeah.
they scrapped him and he was done.
Yeah.
I forgot what he looked like though.
He was a bodybuilder. He looked good.
Kind of short.
Yeah. Oh, I remember him. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They called him brackets because he had a nice brachialis.
But he didn't. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
No,
He
nothing.
couldn't do nothing in the ring.
Yeah.
And yeah, they tried him and just scrapped him almost immediately. So I think
Yeah.
that's the same thing that would happen with those guys. You know, they
Yeah.
would probably try them out, didn't work, and then they'd say, best of luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck on your future endeavors.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think now though, I was like, they'll continue giving it to him. Like, I mean, The Rock. I mean, he didn't catch on. They had to bring Sonny out to introduce him just so he could get some sort of reaction. It took a long time for The Rock
Yeah.
to actually find The Rock. But when he did, whoa, So I mean, I think a lot of times that's what they like to do with the newer guys. Is like, we could have another Rock here. Let's just throw out all these different options and see what catches.
Right.
I think that's what they're doing.
They're throwing
with this.
darts.
What do you guys think is the end result for Ryback? Like, do you see him in as the main event guy?
Never. No. I see once he loses, because he's got his whole thing is like he's this unstoppable force. What's he going to do when he's in there against a Big Show? I mean, sure, it's going to be a great like build up if they have Ryback versus a Big Show. But once they actually get in the ring, there's nothing they can do after that.
Yeah, it was kind of like they were giving him longer matches, and then, this week, the spot was ultimately about him,
right,
or the segment, but he really didn't come out till the end, so they used him like they used him in the beginning, which was 2 seconds and out.
So You're used to that 2 seconds and out, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit longer. I think about him back in the day, back when they had the matches, maybe 20 years ago. 30 years ago in the small territories. He might have done okay then, but he still probably wouldn't have been a main eventer. They would have had him on the card because of his look. He would maybe a semi-main tag, where he just came in and out of the match a little bit, and then they took the fall on him.
Yeah, I mean, there's room to grow. I mean, who knows? He probably works very hard, and his character now that he's doing, he does that very well. I really like his entrance music too.
I do too.
Crowd's behind him too. They're chanting with him and everything.
Yeah.
If he gets it down and hits his niche and gets the psychology where it's supposed to, if they allow him to, then he'll be something. He's definitely got the look.
Yeah, I just can't see like someone like a Triple H or like an Undertaker would probably have a little bit of difficulty carrying them to like a 30-minute match, like if it was a WrestleMania main event.
Yeah,
I just couldn't see that happen. I mean, like I don't think Goldberg. I don't think he ever did like anything like that, did he?
Not that I remember.
No, I don't remember.
Plus, it depends on his moveset too. I mean, if he doesn't have a great moveset, then not much he can do. After 8 minutes. So.
No, you throw him outside the ring, hit him with a chair, and let him lay there.
They actually did have Goldberg, and when he came to WWE, he worked like a 30-minute match versus Triple H, and it was pretty panned. The universe, the critics panned it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, let's move on to the Jericho highlight, because they had my favorite girl on there.
Oh, excuse me!
Oh,
excuse me!
So tired of that.
Excuse me!
Can you imagine living with that?
No.
All right, what did you think of that? Well, the highlight reel, what did you think of that?
Well, I like Y2J. I think he's great on the mic, and like he really knows how to get reactions out of people, and really he kind of starts shooting on people, I think, and just to get a reaction out of them. He probably doesn't tell them that he's going to do it. He probably just does it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I like the highlight reel. I think he shines more in that now than his wrestling, because I think he's like, he's getting a little on in age, kind of like me and my brother have.
Shh! Don't tell anybody that.
So he's his body's getting a little more banged up, but I mean his ability to carry an interview show has not diminished at all.
And you know what? Yeah. That's a good place to be, because that's what I've been doing for years now, and I'd love it. I'd rather do that than take the bumps any day. And there's not many guys in wrestling that can carry an interview show.
Yeah, exactly.
Piper was great.
Yeah. Remember when we should save that for old school.
Okay. With the coconut?
Yeah.
Okay, we will.
Well, also, Jericho, now that he's turned face again, it's kind of interesting, because when he was a heel, he was very, like everything he said had to be a heel thing, but when he's a face, he could hype up the crowd, but he could also give a little jab.
Yeah, do a little
That's
heel
like an edgy
stuff,
thing,
Right, yeah. I think he's great.
Yeah.
Good-looking guy. He comes across camera well. He speaks well.
And not only that, but Y2J is back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that means, because I always thought he was Y2J.
Well, that's actually because Y2K.
Yeah, it was 2000.
Yeah.
So he was Y2J.
Yeah, no, I know, but now he said Y2J is back.
Yeah, it's 12 years later.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Boy, that 12 years went fast.
Yeah. He's waiting for the next millennium.
Exactly. What will that be called? I don't even know what that'll be called.
Y3J.
Oh, shoot.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You want to go down to Primo and Epico?
Yeah, there's really, well, one little quick thing on that. It's like, every week I see, I'm really pushing him a lot. Every week I see Dolph Ziggler just gets more impressive to me, even though he did
great.
very little. I mean, like the way he does it and the way he
you're
comes
talking
out
about
dressed.
when he came out with white.
when
Chris
he
Jericho,
when he came out to hit him with the briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good. I thought it was a good build-up. I mean, they're building that up really well. Are they wrestling at SummerSlam? Oh, yeah, they are. Because remember, that was what the whole segment was about.
Yeah, I like Dolph Ziggler, but yeah, I think, I hate to say this because I like the show, and I do like Vicky Guerrero. I think she has her place, and I know she's putting on a character, which is a great character, but sometimes it's supposed to be annoying. I know that, and we've all had girlfriends and wives that are like that. So you guys out there who see this, you have it at home, and then you have it on TV too. It's like, okay, enough's enough. How much of this crap can I take from this woman buzzing in my ear? And I know they have to do it, but I think they carried it a little bit too long. I don't think it needed to be that long to get to the point where they had to get.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Other than that, I mean, they made their point, but you could have made the point in a few less minutes.
I did like the little thing about like when she was gonna leave. It's like, no, come back. Like he was he was throwing little jabs at her.
Yeah.
And like they worked well with each other. Like
Right.
And then when they did the excuse me, and they went back and forth. That was pretty good.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
I think sometimes though she'll say it too much,
Yeah.
and then it kind of kills it. Like the couple times she says it, everyone boos.
Yes.
But after a while, it's like everybody's heard it, and then they're like just annoyed with it and want her to shut up. So they've stopped now interacting.
I agree with you. So nice having you here.
Oh, same here.
I'm so glad
I know you've missed me, so
I missed you terribly. It's
with
been a
every
long time.
bullet so far.
This is
But
great.
It's interesting saying that about Ziggler. I can't put the exact word on it, but I kind of feel like he's the most athletic WWE guy I've ever seen that doesn't come across as weak.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like flipping around where it's like, oh, okay, he's just an acrobat.
Right.
But he's up there with like Mr. Perfect, Billy
Yeah,
Gunn, and
a lot.
all of those
You're right.
guys. Yeah.
Exactly.
He bumps like a champ too.
Yeah,
Like
I think
his
that's
bumps
it.
are phenomenal. Like
At the pay-per-view, Big Show threw him over the table. He landed headfirst in the announce chair. The announce chair didn't move.
Wow.
He stalled headfirst on
Oh,
the announce
nice.
chair. I never saw that ever.
That's very skilled.
I saw
Complete muscle control or something.
the first week I was here, we were reviewing a match, and he did like a chin lock where he stood up. You were there too.
I remember that.
That was pretty phenomenal. I've never seen that before.
It was a headstand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've seen a headstand, but not when someone had a chin lock.
Not
on
with a
it.
chin lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
Yeah,
creative.
he's fun to watch lose.
Yeah.
He's fun to he's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know.
I can see him go all the way.
Yeah. And he's bringing pink back. I guess I never liked pink for shirts, but I mean, back in the '80s, like Luger used to wear those pink shirts. So when I was like in high school and I see Luger out there, I'd be like, man, I want to be like Lex Luger. So I got the pink. He had the eyes on, so I had to get the La Tigra, which was a knockoff of it. But he's bringing the pink shirts back.
No, you didn't buy the La Tigra. You bought the Walmart special.
Yeah, I know the oh yeah, that's right. They did have another
And I
one.
see nothing. I wear pink all the time, don't I, Chris? I've had pink shoes, pink shirts.
Pink
I see
underwear?
nothing. Yeah. Well, that's red washed with white. I see nothing wrong with pink. I think pink's a good color, brings out your tan, and it makes you manly. And a lot of women will agree with me. A good real man wears pink. We have a spot to do.
Yes, we're talking about iTunes.
Yes.
iTunes, our
Yes.
favorite. Go to iTunes, please rate and comment us. It helps us very much. And you could listen to podcasts of our show on iTunes, all sorts of things.
Yes.
What else can you do on iTunes?
You can do almost anything on iTunes. I mean, I use it for all my videos and all my podcasts and all that as well. It's that houses all my music, of course. iTunes is number one to me. I use it for everything.
gets you through your workouts too.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the Rocky 3 soundtrack.
I get the Days of Our Lives, that soundtrack.
that we can do for your triceps workout.
Yeah.
What about the All in the Family song? What
I
about
watch. There we go.
Oh,
I actually.
I'm getting fired up right now.
This is too good. Adrian.
I was just gonna say that, man. Good minds think alike.
Yes, they did. I like the soundtrack to Lifetime for Women.
Can you pull that up?
I don't think she can pull that up.
Yeah, no, she will.
All right, so we're down to Primo and Epico now.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go.
So, okay, so there's a tag match. R-Truth and Kofi Kingston at ringside. There's some pretty cool moves.
Very good moves.
I'm gonna disagree with both of you, but go on.
No, you can't disagree.
Okay, what happens is the manager, AW, who we'll talk
Yeah,
more
I
about
know.
in a
Okay.
second, but he throws water on R-Truth and Kofi Kingston. They run in, beat him up, beat
Yeah.
up their team, and they get the win by DQ.
Yeah.
I'm always very critical on tags because we're a tag team and we're a pretty good one. I mean, I'd say
above mediocre, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say
above.
above mediocre. This tag, I mean, It was set up horribly. Like there was for him to like throw the water on him. Like you would do that. Like they used to do that in the 80s. They would do that when their team was just getting beat so bad. That was like the last resort. But all he did was give him like one move. It wasn't even a finisher. It wasn't even like he didn't even go to pin him, and he just gets up and throws the water on him.
Yeah,
There's no reason for it.
You're saying it like makes him seem weaker and makes it
Yeah,
all feel
like
cheap.
there's no like you have to do it. You have to build it to where it's like the manager sees that his team cannot beat this other team, so that's why he's doing that. He does that.
You have to have a reason for that.
Yeah, there was zero reason for it at all. Like just.
Yeah, the match is what
I'm
it
all
is.
fired up from that.
But they had some good moves.
Yeah, they had good moves, but I mean, good moves doesn't make a good match necessarily.
I have good moves.
Yeah, you do.
And I have a nice match after. But you're right about that. And the manager thing with him, you know, back in the 80s they had managers. They had some good, back in the 60s and 70s they had the Wizard and some of these guys, really good managers. And the manager has to know his place. This guy's annoying. I don't like the microphone on him talking during the match. It's like distracting from the match and what's going on. But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that.
Another point, and this drives me nuts. This is another thing. This is going back to old school, where we came from. Is you never get your hands on the manager until like the big payoff, because once you do, that like the fans wanting to see this guy gets hit goes away. So this guy was getting like clubbed, like they're throwing like gorilla punches at him while he was on the ground, and then kicking him and like kicking field goals with him. It's like that's something that you like build up for. Like Jim Cornette, whenever he Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express. I mean, they were married for years and years and years, and when they would pull him over the top and go like they were gonna hit him, the crowd would start going nuts. But then he'd get hit with the one of the Rock and Roll Express would get hit with the racket, so they never really get his hands on him. Then all of a sudden they put him up in a cage so he can't get involved. It's like they really dropped the ball with this.
Yeah,
one.
it's all the lead into it is what's important.
They didn't have a lead into it, true, but he did have to go away because he was fired the next day.
You think maybe he knew that was coming and just didn't care?
He had to, based on I think the plan, because okay, here's what happened.
I was going to ask.
So on Twitter, he released a comment. So they want these guys to all Twitter, and then when they say something out of turn, then they have to apologize or whatever, even though they're wrestlers.
I did predict that. Did I not predict that last week?
I don't know what you said last week.
Okay, go on.
That's last week.
So what he said was my team, or he was referring to the one guy on his team, Titus O'Neil. He says this guy is unstoppable, like Kobe Bryant in a hotel room. So he made a rape joke.
Yeah.
Right.
So they wanted him to apologize. So they made a big deal out of it. It might have made the news in some like smaller news stations, and as a result, he's fired.
Wow.
Didn't John Cena make a comment like that years ago, though?
Yeah, well, everyone was kind of saying, hey, well, he actually texted on his way out, stuff like, the game has changed, and hopefully Linda wins the Senate run so things could go back to normal. People are dealing with a lot of crap backstage, and people were saying how Vince would have loved you to do that, just shoot from the hip and say whatever you want like 10 years ago, and now.
There's so much that goes on backstage that the fans don't know about.
Yeah, another guy just spoke out saying how bad it is, or complaining,
But they're a big company. Things happen with big companies. That's just the way.
A lot of mismanagement in a big company.
When we were there, like it really was. Anytime we'd go, it's like walking on eggshells back there, and everybody that we knew, everybody that we know that was there, has been there, or still is, everybody's miserable because it's like going to work and they're just so fearful for what's going to happen.
Well, you're always being evaluated constantly, so you have to be at your best all the time. It's like being put in detention when you're a bad boy.
Right.
But that's the way it is. That's why they run a tight ship, I mean, that's how they have to run it, apparently.
Yeah, one bad match, though, unfortunately, and, you could be future endeavored.
I mean, how quick did it take him to text that? 10 seconds? And
all right, let me put it this way. How many good things do you do in a marriage and you only hear about the one bad thing?
Good point.
Am I right?
You are right.
Those are
You're
attaboys, attaboys. Oh, shit. So that's how it is. I mean, it's like no one ever looks at the good stuff. They don't look at the bad things.
Chris Rock actually did a little thing where he's like, what about the fathers? Like nobody, none of the kids or the mom ever says, "Gee, Dad, thanks for having all these lights on so I can read."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to Cesaro and Christian.
Christian putting over the young guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys think
Actually,
of that match?
Christian went over.
Well, he won the match, but
Right.
he really, it seemed like he really let Antonio do a bunch of moves.
Yeah.
Antonio
Won the
hit him with some fall-away slam
Yeah.
into a bridge.
Yeah.
Looked
He
And-
won the
pretty
match,
cool.
but he lost the battle.
Right.
He's got a good offense, though. Cesaro,
Yeah.
really got good innovative offense.
Yeah.
Did you see the uppercut?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
That I liked.
Yeah.
Would you take that?
No. Not at this age.
But Christian is actually great. Like he is a great enhancement talent, where he's able to take other people's abilities and their weaknesses, and not let people see their weaknesses, only see their strengths. He's very good at that. He's had like 3 or 4 good matches in a row.
It's kind of like I do with you and your brother.
Yeah, kind of.
I've enhanced you guys.
Yes, you have.
That's every match, though, Rick. Every match.
I know they packaged the guys that come out now very tightly, and he's got the rugby gimmick, but it seems like the move set even is like super, like this is your move set for
Yeah.
now. And
He's in good shape.
Yeah.
what do you guys think about that? Like a new guy who's just starting, or at least just starting on TV, having a completely locked in move set. And
That's kind of like what they're doing these days. It's like because I guess they have the idea of like 5 moves, like these are your 5 moves, and build your whole match around these. I guess Triple H made that pretty popular. So I think maybe like since he's so involved now, he's telling these new guys, like get a small move set. This is gonna be your move set, like until we feel it necessary to change it or put something else in its place.
right.
Interesting how that works.
Yeah.
It's all new to me.
There was another backstage segment with Booker
Yes.
with the girls.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Eve wants Eve who looked amazingly
Yeah.
hot, wants a job, and he's kind of brushing her off because she's been bitchy, I guess, in the past.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful woman.
yeah, and Teddy Long comes up with another girl named Caitlin, who I think was last used as AJ's best friend during the Daniel Bryan thing.
They were partners. They had some sort of name.
Didn't she have a match before? Didn't her and AJ do a tag match against
Yeah,
Natalie
they
and
Yeah, I remember
someone
Caitlin.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, Caitlin was about to get the job overshadowing Eve.
Right.
She complained. She says she's going to tattle on him to the board of directors, and next week they're going to have a match.
Is Caitlin a bodybuilder?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
she
I
is.
thought she was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good build.
Yeah, you can always tell by the calves and the
I think
quads.
it was fitness, though. I don't think it was bodybuilding. I think I read that
Yeah,
it was
probably
fitness. Yeah.
Everything's going that way now. I still take AJ over Eve. I'm sorry.
The last time I saw the girl Caitlin on TV, she was there one time. She did a fine job, and
Yeah.
she was not used again for 4 months. So
You're right. I remember that, and I kind of remarked about her because I thought she was okay. She was okay.
yeah, this time on camera, maybe it's just because I knew that, but it seemed like she was a little bit like camera shy, or
Yeah,
didn't know what to do when she wasn't speaking, or figured I better do something.
Yeah.
or I'm
It
gonna
was
get
different,
kicked
wasn't
out
it?
Again.
Yeah, it was different, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. I noticed that. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you could actually see the difference between the two of them. Like when you take AJ and you take her, who came in together. They're actually, I think, friends in real life. And they came up and they're kind of both the same level. And then AJ just went shoo,
Yeah.
because of her acting ability and the way she's able to use her
The
face.
charisma. The
Yeah.
charisma. I just thought about something. We're on podcast on iTunes, and people don't see us, but they listen to us, and they identify us, I'm told, with our voices. And so we're here, we have the same voices. But with you two guys, you sound exactly the same. I don't know who's who.
Should I do a deep voice like this?
Maybe. And can you do a high voice?
I think so.
Okay. Now you girls got it.
All right, we're good now.
All right, let's go down to
That's a
Mysterio.
pretty cool voice.
Yeah, you got it.
So sexy. Let's go down to Mysterio and The Miz. I know The
Good.
Miz, your buddy.
Yeah, actually, me and my brother were talking. We don't do that very often, but we were talking about he was doing in this match a lot of the same things that we actually taught him in class, and like little spots we would give him when we wrestled him. He
Yeah.
was actually doing the same ones in this match, so it was kind of made us smile a little
Well, it
bit.
should make you smile. You taught him well.
Yeah,
You guys always teach well.
thank you.
Well, thank you.
I hadn't been watching wrestling when The Miz came up through the ranks, I guess, and I kind of never really got him. I never really, maybe just coming from an outsider coming into it, I hadn't really got it at first. But when he was heating on Mysterio, he's very natural in there. He's very natural as that heel character. So
he does something very well. A lot of people don't do is he actually, while he's giving heat, he still sells. Like if when Rey Mysterio gave him the 2 kicks to the leg, he cut him off and then went down and started selling the leg, like, and then rubbing it, like trying to rub out the pain, little
Get the
things
blood
like that.
flowing back there.
Yeah.
But it's a very good point because I did notice that, and so many guys don't do that.
Right.
And that's where we get back to old school again. You're always taught to sell all the way out to the dressing room.
Yeah.
Even no matter what, sell it. And you limp around, you make that comeback, sell as you come back. You can't come back with full force when you've been damaged like that.
Right.
do you think it was, they always have this pattern now where they push a guy, and when he's hot, they put him in the main event and pull him back down. And they were having that pattern for a couple of years. Do you think that it was unfair? Well, I guess it's not unfair if you get put in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But do you think it was unfair as him, who's going to be around for a long time, to be put in so early? Like, to be put on that prime stage so early in his career?
No, I think it's like, if you're ready, it doesn't matter where you're at. Like, I mean, if you're ready in 6 months and you prove it's like a quarterback coming out of college, and I mean, like Andrew Luck, like his first pass was like, what was it, 69-yard touchdown?
Something like that, 69, 70-yard
Even though it's
touchdown
only
pass.
preseason, but it's like, if they can make the transition, it's like, why wait?
Right.
It's kind of the same philosophy.
When you're ready, you're ready.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Now we have the main event.
Oh, it was a good match, by the way. We never actually commented on that.
It was a good match. It was a good match. You know that 619, right? They're always set up. I mean, we know, the fans know. The minute you're going to hit the ropes with your double arms over the center rope, it's coming.
Yeah.
And I think he pulled away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he caught it.
Yeah, no, he caught it. Yeah.
They started kneeing him, which was good.
Yeah.
You know, the way he cut him off from that.
It was nice to see a little transition there instead of the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. And a good finish. And a lot of SmackDown this week finishes weren't what you thought they would be.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was going over.
Which is nice for a change.
Yeah, I thought that was great. That was really refreshing. Like, I thought for sure, okay, Christian,
Right.
They're pushing Cesaro. Christian's going to job to him like he's been jobbing in the past. But no, they put Christian over. And then, with this match, same thing. I mean, Miz, just came off of doing his movie, and they've been pushing him, and it was refreshing to see that.
Yeah, this makes a nice
Good
change.
job, SmackDown.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about the main event soon, but I was talking to Rick about how you kind of want to give it a swerve, at least before, like on a TV show.
Oh, absolutely.
Because whenever John Cena goes over, it's like they've brought in a guy like Tensai or whoever, and he
Yeah.
beats them clean on Raw. It doesn't make any sense. So
Right.
why would you? It doesn't progress the story, and it doesn't build any heat for the bad guy.
Yeah. There's always got to be that swerve. Like, remember the Wonder Years, that TV show?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
That was full of swerves. I mean, and that was great writing right there. Where I was like, that's one of my favorite shows. Yeah,
Well,
you got to do
You
it.
got to do that. There's movies like that. I mean, I watched something a couple of weeks ago where it ended, then it didn't, then it picked up and changed and changed and
those
changed.
kind of
and changed
movies
and
always kind of in the same that you watch, Rick.
changed. The Lifetime for Women?
No, the other ones that you watch.
Oh, no, I don't watch those anymore.
You don't watch it many less either.
Can we go to the main event because I was like really disappointed?
Well, technically that was the main event, but if you want to go to the next match,
Let's go to the next match.
Okay.
Right, that's fine. All right, I knew that when he had 3 minutes left for the next match, that it wasn't going to be much of anything.
yeah.
I looked at my timers. There's 3 minutes left, and these guys are going to come out for a title match. No, it's not going to happen. And it didn't.
No.
Right.
I just was really, I get so disappointed with the run-ins and interruptions, and then you see all these cops come out and stop the match. Please.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of feel like as long as it progresses the story, that's cool. But if you're going to advertise, and something that WCW did a lot, and
Yes.
I think it's a big reason they failed, if you're going to advertise something, even if it's a DQ, at least have
Deliver.
5 or 10 minutes of the match
Yeah.
and DQ it. This was nothing.
Right.
This was a complete false promise. And they've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
They've been changing matches mid-show and stuff like that.
Yeah, we had this big discussion over lunch yesterday. We're talking about how these things have transpired, and it's true. It's a disappointment.
I did for some reason did you send the invite over Facebook and I just didn't get it because I don't think I got the
The
invite.
lunch date?
Yeah.
I had 679 people at Sharky's.
Oh, I was.
His whole family was there.
He's right. My whole family was there.
We
Shane,
could have
Adam,
been
his wives.
We could have been 681 though.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have said, "Hey, I had 681 people there."
We
who
had
would've went.
one piece of pizza left. Actually,
We would have shared it.
Yeah, we would have shared. Well, I would have actually eaten it. He wouldn't have gotten any. So
I know that's like the
he would have
usual
gotten
case.
He would have got the crust.
That's the usual case with you too. I'm going to catch up with you though. So I read on the conclusion that the last match wasn't very good.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't
no.
a match.
No.
I know.
It was disturbing.
It's
Disturbing trend to see WWE doing that.
I will say this, so I do like the facial expressions that Alberto Del Rio was making.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
when he smiled, he looked like the Joker. Like when he did that like evil smile when he was like, "Get them."
He's another
Yeah.
one like AJ who you can read his face. I mean, his character is that good, and he wore a mask for years, right?
He was.
He was Dos Caros, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he never had to have the facial expressions.
Yeah.
God knows what was going on beneath that mask. See, he was practicing all those years. So when the
Yeah.
mask
Yeah.
came off, he was going to let it all out.
I think
He did shoot fighting too, like
Yes.
real shoot fighting. I mean, he was like average. It wasn't great or anything, but I mean, he really did it.
Yeah.
he seems better now that he's back from the injury. Like he had about 6 months off, and now he's like the heel stuff is much more.
Yeah.
The crowd interaction is
Yeah.
more.
And I don't get that. because
Maybe he
you've been
watched
injured.
Batman when he was injured.
Yeah,
You've
maybe.
been injured, and I've been injured, and I'm never the same after an injury.
Yeah,
It's
he
never
came
the
back
same.
better.
Unless there's some sort of magic pill that makes it all go away.
Or you're Steve, not Steve Austin, not the one that comes out and flips everyone off, but the $1 Million Man.
Yes, the $1 Million Man with the bionics.
Yes.
That's all we need. Well, I think
So-
I think we're done with.
How would you grade SmackDown, Rick?
grade it on a 1 to 10?
A, B, C, or 1 to 10? Your choice.
Do a letter grade. That's
A letter grade, A, B, C, A being top, maybe a C plus. But that's just me.
yeah. To this, I would say C. Like
Yeah.
they because there was less wrestling this time. I'd say
Yeah.
C.
Yeah. What
I'm gonna-
about? Go ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to give it an incomplete, as it
You
was
can,
incomplete.
you can do that. You can
Next
do that.
week it better redeem itself. Or else.
Any predictions that you might have for the next week's show?
Oh,
Shane, how
some-
about you?
Well, first off, I'd give it a C minus. So it's a passing grade, but you know, it could be better.
He sounds just like you.
Yeah.
Oh
What do you think
I'm
when you look at
sorry.
him? Do you think he's pretty?
Well, it's like looking in a mirror.
I know that.
So,
That'd be hard to do. Chris, and what do you think predictions wise?
Well, they're going to keep going with the Del Rio and Sheamus thing. And
Yeah.
Something will happen. Something story-wise to build to the pay-per-view.
And you, Mr. Ballard?
I'm gonna talk in my deep voice, so you
Yes.
know this is Shannon Ballard.
Yeah.
I think Sin Cara and Rhodes will continue a feud, and he will try to take off his mask again.
Yes.
I have to be on an R&B station with that voice.
Yeah, you know it.
I will predict that we'll be here next week at the same time talking about the same stuff. And we'll have our own conclusions.
On the same channel?
On the same channel.
Okay.
And we'll go over SmackDown again and give it our review. And hopefully we'll have some different finishes like we did this time. And we'll give it a B plus instead.
Yeah. This grade was a C minus,
Yeah.
right? We're on agreement on that.
Well,
Passing, but barely.
it's C level or below.
Yeah.
Now, do you have anything you'd like to promote, Mr. Ballard and Mr. Ballard? Anything coming up that you might be doing somewhere besides
He's
the
a
meat
little
department
slow.
at
Yeah,
Ralph's?
please excuse my brother. He's a little slow.
He is, isn't he?
You know what that movie's from?
He was behind the door.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, he was.
we'll be shopping tonight at Ralph's
Dumb and Dumber.
for food for the week. So we'll
Yeah,
promote
actually,
that.
I promote that every week.
Every week
yeah.
he says that.
See, like he doesn't even watch the show, and he knows that's why we're really twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not just like
All right, let me ask you this: What department do you hang out in
Department.
at Ralph's?
Usually the frozen foods because it's nice and cool in there. So.
Oh, because he told me you're hanging out at the meat department.
Yeah, I'm comparing.
Yeah, of course you are.
We're about to get yanked off stage.
All right, Chris, what do you got
here you
going
go.
on?
Oh, guys, please keep going to daddydoyle.com. Thank you guys for having me in.
Okay.
That's it.
RickDrasin.com, rickscorner.com for all the historical moments in bodybuilding and pro wrestling, and watch for my book at rickdrasin.com and my wrestling school also in Sherman Oaks, California. And thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV SmackDown review, and stay tuned for the next show, which is old school wrestling with these guys again.
And thank you,
From
Marissa.
Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.